resume's empty, but my face looks fine. Energy drinks stand right next to my bed. I farm for survival, not daily bread. IRL broke, but online rich. I'll trade my life for another glitch. I'm grinding once, human days turn to nights. No job, no boss, just mutant fights. Never touching grass, but I'll touch this loot. Level up my squad, and my stats look cute. If life's a game, then I've gone full class. A legendary grinder who never touched grass.
Hello everyone! Some of you have been asking me in the comments and DM for a silent Anabasis build, so today I got you covered. Let's jump right in! Let's kick things off with the gear we're using for this build. Now, you've actually got a couple of options here, but for my setup I'm running 4 Treacherous and 1 Shelterer for sustain. If you'd rather go for more elemental damage, you can swap it to 3 Treacherous and 2 Shelterer to squeeze out that extra 8% elemental damage. Now for the key gear, I'm rocking the snow camo gloves. Every time an ice crystal shatters, you fire off 4 extra ice missiles that deal status damage equal to 50% of your psi intensity. That's huge DPS. Alternatively, if you want more crowd control, you can go with Stealth Walker, since Anabasis already has a chance to trigger Ice Vortex. But if you're chasing more damage numbers, snow camo gloves are the better choice. For the silent Anabasis accessories, you can use whatever feels comfortable. But if you want a balanced weapon, here's my recommended setup: large break muzzle, tactical holographic sight, tactical combined grip, and the most important one, the extended rifle mag for more ammo. Now, let's move on to ammo choices. You have 3 strong options for the best damage. First is disintegrating ammo. This adds 10% more frost damage. Second, suppression. I prefer this one for deviant type silos. Third, penetration. This works best against humanoid type silos. There is also phantasmal ammo for the Dreamer, but honestly, it's not worth spending your reality fragments. Since the Dreamer fight is almost always done in groups, you should save those resources. Next, let's talk about the secondary weapon. For this build, I use Bingo. It's a very strong support weapon that makes enemies more squishy. Now for melee, I recommend the Kukri. It's even better if your Kukri has the heavy style, because that lets you one-shot ice cubes. If you don't have heavy style, you can add a melee amplifier to boost its damage. To farm the Kukri, you can spam the first level of Lee Lab. And if you're in Endless Dream, you can also clear Light Dreamer for a chance to get one. But keep in mind, this drop is based on RNG, so you'll need some luck to pick it up. Now let's get into the mods. For the Anabasis choice is Cryo Catalyst for more damage. Just make sure you roll the Frost Vortex suffix and focus on stats like Frost damage, Frost Vortex damage, and enemy type damage. To farm keyword suffix mods, you can keep spamming the Manibus in Endless Dream, or you can do the high-risk public crisis event. For the Bingo, just like I mentioned earlier, make sure to use the vulnerability amplifier. Personally, I like to focus on the bullseye duration. That extra few seconds of bullseye effect is super useful, especially when you're consuming the mixed fried hot dog. For the helmet, go with Deviation Expert for more status damage. Focus on upgrading elemental damage, status damage, and enemy type damage. If you happen to get a lunar suffix, that's even better. Since this is a low health build, the damage boost is huge. Now, for most players who never experienced the lunar visional wheel, Talents is the easier choice. But if you really want that lunar suffix for maximum damage, here's what you have to do. Farm 1000 gravity crystals, buy the lunar suffix mod box from the visional wheel shop. Open them. Then go to mod conversion to gamble the mod. If you don't get what you want, well, farmable again, buy again, and keep praying to the RNG gods! Because let's be honest, you'll probably end up with a trash mod and 0 energy links. I am just kidding. If you are lucky, you can probably get it. Yeah, trust me, you can get it. For the mask, Frost Construct works really well with the Anabasis and the Snow Camo gloves. This mod boosts both your crystal and ice missile damage. When rolling this mod, aim for the Frost Vortex suffix and prioritize Frost damage, Frost Vortex damage, and then enemy type damage. For the top, I personally like to use Quick Comeback. This mod lets you reload faster when using heavy style. For the suffix, you can go with Talents. Focus on elemental damage, status damage, and enemy type damage. And again, if you have the lunar suffix, it's better. However, you don't really need to stick with this exact mod. All of the top mods are mainly for defense anyway, so you can pick any mod that fits the way you want to sustain damage. Just avoid rejuvenating and head guard. Those only work in high health builds, and this setup is all about low health. For the bottom, elemental resonance is a solid choice. Every time you reload, you'll gain extra elemental damage. For the suffix, go with talents focusing on elemental damage, status damage, and enemy type damage. For the gloves, I like to use elemental overload. But if your sub stats aren't great on that mod, you can switch to status enhancement with better rolls. Again, just keep the focus on elemental status and enemy type damage. Now for the shoes, these give both defense and damage boosts. If you're running silos like Theta, where you'll take continuous damage, go with against all odds. But overall, Rush Hour is the safer bet, since you only need lower health to get the damage boost. If you're playing a low health build, Rush Hour is definitely the way to go. And finally, don't forget about the Mask Fur. Lucky Rabbit Fur gives you an elemental damage boost whenever you crit with this weapon. You can farm it by hunting rabbits or just go full Rabbit Slayer mode and keep killing them until RNG blesses you with 3 furs. And remember, you need to trigger crit to get the buff, which means you will need to spray using the gun. For the Cradle, here's the setup I recommend anti-void, since this is a rifle. Rapid aid to combo with quick comeback or for faster healing. Status enhancement for 3 extra seconds of status damage after hitting a weak spot. Deviant energy defense to give you some shield and sustain more damage. Tactical leap when fighting against deviants. Tactical combo when fighting against humanoids. Elemental sense, which gives 25% more elemental damage after triggering elemental damage. Marked strike to boost weak spot damage after marking with bingo. And finally, extreme freezing to slow deviants and increase frost vortex damage after triggering frost elemental damage. Now let's move into the food buff section. For food, you've got several powerful options. Canned minty meat for 15% frost damage. Surprise spring roll for 5 to 15% elemental damage. The effect doubles if your HP is below 40%. Layered galaxy, which gives you 30% elemental damage while airborne. Mixed frayed hot dog, very useful since it boosts all types of damage when you mark enemies with bingo. Stardust energy drink, which helps you stack tactical leap when fighting deviants. And whimsical drink for 25% status damage boost. And that wraps up my full Silent Anabasis build guide. This setup gives you everything you need, damage sustain, and the right tools for both deviants and humanoids. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more once human builds and tips. Drop a comment if you've got your own Anabasis tricks or if there's another build you want me to cover next. Thanks for watching, and as always, good luck out there, survivors!